Terps out on top here at the 14-12 mark, leading it 1-0.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Logan Wisnauskas missed that first opportunity, but this is just a straight sprint dodge. And number 52 in the Scarlet, Jacob Snyder, looks like he was expecting a pick. So he was on his heels instead of being firmly planted and having a great approach against Mulliver. Mulliver sensed that he had him on his heels, runs right by him and sticks it for the game's first tally.
A former 5-star recruit showing you why here early as we get a hold on Ohio State. The Terps will possess after the goal. A chance to add more here right away. And another one right on cue. Mark, it's not taking long here for number 1. We're 58 seconds in, and they're already up 2-0.
This is even after a delayed whistle. Maryland and Luke Weirman did not get the quick restart that they wanted. Weirman was standing there for about 5 seconds. Watch. He was standing. All he does is slot it over to Puglisi, and no one picks up number 8. In the red and white. Puglisi just says, okay, you're not going to give it to me, or you're going to give it to me. High bouncers will go. What a bounce shot from Robin Puglisi, and already 58 seconds into this game, Maryland is running downhill.
And already, Weirman dominating this game early here at the face-off X.
I mean, this is the equivalent of a boxing match where in the first half round of action, you've taken a couple right to the jaw. And can Ohio State withstand the 8 count? And then can they get back in this fight?
And that's the key right now, is how do you bounce back from a little bit of early adversity here? And Nick Myers talking about that this week, and his team, after not playing as well as they have over the last few years last season, they bounced back nicely here. Find themselves ranked number 8 coming into this game here.
Unranked as the season began, and also ranked or picked to finish 5th in the Big Ten. He said, that didn't sit well with us. We took it, and we knew people didn't think we were very good, and they've used it as motivation.
Kahn reversing, plays it back here. Pass goes behind the intended target of Owen Murphy. And then we're going to get a push here at midfield. That's going to be on Maryland. And Ohio State with a chance to finally possess the ball here in their offensive end with 12:45 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, great hustle by Connor Camille right there to get to the ground ball first, establish the base, and took the push. That was a hustle play right there. That's not going to show up on the stat sheet as a ground ball, but Connor Camille getting the first possession for Ohio State.
Buckeyes already down 2-0, trying to do something about it here. Shot clock at 50. Jack Myers, local product out of Bethesda. Inside, nice shot here from the tough angle by Scott White, the senior attackman, getting the Buckeyes on the board. And Mark, they get the answer that they sorely needed quickly here from Scott White.
Scott White's matchup is Jake Higgins, and you can in on your body. So Scott uses his speed. Watch him get topside and just flings it. And McNaney, I don't think, was expecting that shot. Look at that. Beautiful placement, great whip. And it didn't allow Jake Higgins to physically get in on him. If Higgins gets in on you and starts jacking you up, it's going to be a long day. I like how White got separation, used his quickness, and gets a much-needed goal for Ohio State.
Weirman pushing it forward this time. Becomes a battle off the wing of the Buckeyes. Able to get possession here. Nice job off the wing. And again, if you're Ohio State, you'll take that. Turnover, though, as they can't get it clear.
Weirman stayed on the field. That's a Fogo. Staying on the field, riding, creates the turnover. Great job, Luke Weirman. Tough break for the Buckeyes.
Well, that shows you just how far he's advanced in his game and why he's playing here for John Tillman and company. The king of that hog pen right now, as they call him here in College Park. Great give-and-go action here off the pick. Ball dropped, though, by Donville. And the Buckeyes get the turnover.
Very uncharacteristic turnover for this Maryland offense. This is a unit that's been clicking on all cylinders, and they typically do not give away possessions. On that one, they do, and Ohio State, credit them for taking full advantage.
And a great shot. Low to low by Jason Knox off the feed from Colby Smith. Plenty of time and room for Knox, and just like that, the Buckeyes have answered back. We're tied at 2.
Ohio State playing at a tempo offensively right now, very reminiscent of Maryland. They're not pulling it out. They're not spinning it around. They're attacking. And that's exactly what Smith does on this. Attacks down the alley, sees that there's miscommunication on the backside from the Maryland defense, plants his foot, whips it across to Knox, and Knox finds the back of the cage.
So a big answer by the Buckeyes here, as Weirman this time able to push it out here. Ball deflects to the wing, and the Buckeyes come over the ground ball here on the near side to Chico.
Yeah, that's a fortuitous ground ball for Ohio State, because the pole missed the first-time grounder, and I thought Maryland was going to get that, and the Buckeyes are going to be in real trouble.
Worth noting, Drew Blanchard took that draw for Ohio State as well. Here comes a shot from the far side. Unchecked, Scott White. Nobody stopped the ball. White tried to go down low to the far. 10:43 to go here in the opening quarter. Myers with the restart from the corner. Good pick. Myers comes free up above the goal line, but the pass intended for Colby Smith goes behind him, and it'll be an over and back turnover against the Buckeyes.
Yeah, those are just opportunities you can't waste against Maryland. You got a great pick, you're unfettered, got a guy wide open for a step down, you can't connect the dots. That's just a fundamental error right there, and a missed opportunity for Ohio State.
Rare one from Myers, one of the senior leaders on this team. Played locally here at Gonzaga, 3-time WCAC champions while he was there. Wisnowski's nice pass on the inside. Good stop. He denied Molliver that time. He denied.
Ohio State takes a quick timeout. I didn't see what was happening up top, but behind the cage, the defender for Ohio State dove, and the quick restart was going to have a 6-on-5 for the Terps.
10:03 to go. We're tied in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
I love A&T Subaru. They make it so easy.
A new Subaru and that new car smell? Life is good.
The A&T Advantage makes car buying simple, convenient, and exceptional.
Right now at A&T Subaru, lease a new 2022 Subaru Ascent for only $319 a month.
No hassle, no haggle, no pressure. And that Bulldog is dreamy.
I double dog dare you to check out A&T Subaru. They're closer than you think.
Newport, Rhode Island, the classic coast. Relive the grandeur of the Gilded Age at Newport's magnificent mansions along famed Bellevue Avenue. Visit discovernewport.org.
For 200 years, University of the Sciences has molded and forged the healthcare and science leaders of tomorrow. But our next breakthrough is you. Be the spark. Make your mark at U Sciences.
Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. You want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And the state of success, of course, brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And for Maryland, they were the state of success in 2021, Mark.
Well, and you look at just since the Big Ten Lacrosse Conference was formed, Maryland has always been there. Regular season champions 5 times, and then they've taken home the tournament title on 3 different occasions. Of course, 2020, the pandemic shut everything down. Maryland is a blue blood, and when the Big Ten Men's Lacrosse Conference was formed, the anchors were Johns Hopkins and Maryland. Like, those were the 2 anchors with the national championships, the All-Americans, a tradition, and Maryland has just continued to roll as a member of the Big Ten.
Molliver behind the goal for the Terrapins here off the restart after the Ohio State timeout. Wisnowskis keeps it moving here to the near side.
I guess when you look at a graphic like that, Penn State...
Deo from the ground! the ground. Not even that could deter the fifth-year man from San Diego, Anthony DeMeo. Puts the Terps up 3-2.
One of the things an analyst does is you try not to start telling a story or making a point when a goal is about to be scored. I didn't think DeMeo was going to shoot that. I mean, he fell down. It wasn't bad defense, and he just whips that thing top shelf. DeMeo showing off wrist strength, placement, velocity. That was an unbelievable goal by Anthony DeMeo.
Guy that's had a flair for the dramatic with 4 game-winning goals in his career gives the Terrapins the lead again after they scored 2 goals in 58 seconds to open the game, and then the Buckeyes scored 2 goals in a minute to tie.
I like how Ohio State is making the face-off a scrum, a 50-50 battle. And that's just excellent hustle by Geppert to keep the ball in bounds and plays it, and he plays it behind the Ohio State defenders that were just standing there and saves possession for the Maryland Terrapins.
But, Mark, that's an indication, though. Championship teams don't give any inches.
Yeah.
I mean, Geppert right to the end line, diving out of bounds to save that ball. I mean, that's the culture and mentality. That's why we saw Maryland's name on that graphic as much as we did.
And the Ohio State defenders seemed to relax a little bit, thinking that ball was going to be theirs, and Geppert makes them pay. But Penn State, the only team program to crash the party other than Hopkins and Maryland winning Big Ten championships.
Shot on the inside. Jack Kouros, ball out in front, bodies on the ground. Ball down, they still battle for it here. Some 12 yards in front of the crease.
No possession has changed hands right now because we've still got a 60-second shot clock going. Now Ohio State, Whalen with a nifty ground ball and a sweet spin move, gets it upfield, and a new shot clock has commenced.
Great job by the keeper for Ohio State to use that athleticism that time to come out, gain possession for his team as the Buckeyes now look to get even with 8:14 to go. On a windy day here in College Park, it's warm though. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. But as we are in the NASCAR wind tunnel here on our side of the field as always.
Well, and going back to the conference as a whole, when you think of, okay, who other than Maryland or Hopkins can take a championship home? And in 2022, is it Ohio State or Rutgers, potentially? I mean, obviously Rutgers, the number 2 team right now in the Big Ten. Ohio State 3, with an opportunity to show that they're ready for prime time, that they're ready to spring an upset on the Maryland Terrapins.
Rutgers had its chance last week, and now the Buckeyes taking their chance today. And obviously a win in this game would give them a huge push in the RPI. And again, a bad pass from below goal line results in an over and back again against the Buckeyes.
And look at Maryland playing down low as their attackmen just basically leaving that field open for transition like this.
Pass goes behind Molliver, and it's going to stay in bounds. Double team back there, and a whistle.
The legal procedure looks like Molliver was out of bounds playing the ball, which was still in bounds. That'll give possession over to Ohio State.
Good job by the official in position right there on the end line to see the call.
Situation here.
Helmet coming loose, and now putting the gloves back on.
I think it could have been also Snyder. It was Jacob Snyder was on the ground, and those rubber pellets, they can get in your mouth, they can get in your eyes. And it looks like Snyder may have suffered from that, had to take his helmet off to clean himself up, and now we resume play.
Good hit in the middle of the field by Bubba Fairman, but an even better job by Ari Allen to come away from the contact. Both teams now with 3 turnovers here in the opening quarter. 6:44 to go, and Maryland leads by 1.
I love how Ari Allen kept his feet moving. That's a midfielder's job when you get the ball in your defensive half on a clearing situation, to clear the ball, to keep your feet moving, to trust yourself, use your athleticism. And Ari Allen did that just then.
Myers. Played by Makar. Primetime matchup here. He'll fire a shot. Looking for the far corner, up top, goes wide. Stays with the Buckeyes with 32 on the shot clock and 6:15 to go here in this opening quarter. 3-2 Terrapins.
Ohio State they're trying to get Myers on a shorty. They're playing a two-man game, and Maryland refuses to switch the matchup. Makar's doing a great job of staying in the hip pocket of Schneider.
White trying again from a tough angle as he scored earlier. That time, that shot goes wide, and Myers will put it back in play. Far corner here with 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and Makar ready to pick him up. Switch on to Fairman with 9. Myers along the goal line, pass in front for White. Off the top of his cross, ball comes loose. Out to the far side. Terps pick it up. Good scoop there. Zapatello.
Makar did not want to give that up, that matchup. They had to, though. And even though Fairman was the one-on-one against Myers, Makar was staring them down. And that allowed number 6 in Scarlet, Scott White, to get front side and just couldn't connect. But Scott White was wide open because Makar was ball watching versus watching. He did not want to switch off of Myers.
Shows you the kind of attention that Myers brings for that Ohio State offense. Pass gets deflected there. It's going to go to the end line. Saved back there. Or is it going to be out? It's going to be out of bounds. Oliver diving to try and save it. But another turnover on Maryland. It's 4th.
Uncharacteristic again for Maryland. They look a little sloppy offensively. You know, when Maryland starts out these games so hot, they're not used to teams fighting back quickly. I mean, teams, Virginia fought back, Rutgers fought back, but it wasn't until those scores were a little elevated. And here Ohio State's been able to answer the bell. They've taken the punches of Maryland, they've counterpunched, and we've got ourselves a 15-rounder right now.
I mean, we talk about the tournament. I mean, look, how many teams can you get in if you're the Big Ten right now when you look at it?
If the tournament were to start today, I think 3 teams from the Big Ten would be in the NCAA tournament.
Flag down against Maryland.
And you look at this Ohio State team, their resume. Their out-of-conference victories are pretty impressive right now. North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Harvard.
Myers working hard. Dances through 3 bodies inside, and he puts it home at 4:16, and the Buckeyes get even again at 3.
Jack Myers, 6'4", 204 pounds, does his best Gumby impersonation. He has the short stick. This is what he wants. He approaches the short stick. He knows it's a free possession. Whirls, twirls, makes himself smaller, hides his stick very, very well, gets inside of the Maryland defense, and finds himself right on the doorstep and slams it past Logan McNaney. Great individual effort by Jack Myers.
Myers climbing highs in the top 10, the all-time points list at Ohio State. And again, that time, just tremendous individual effort.
If you're Maryland there, you got to take body. You just got to knock him off his line somehow. A little too much stick swinging. But you got to be careful with the high hit calls, the unnecessary roughness calls, those types of things. Defense is played much differently here in 2022 than it was even 10 years ago.
So tied at 3 now. Terrapins on the move here with Keegan Kahn. To the far side from Oliver. As we go back and forth here in College Park. Great crowd here this afternoon for another top 10 Big Ten matchup.
Day before Easter. Passover just started.
Oh, look at that move by Oliver. Pass inside. Shot to the far side. Hits the pipe. Outside. From around the back this time, and another save inside. Oliver with a rebound off the side of the net. Kahn picks it up back there. Terps in the pinball machine. One-timer in front, another save.
Whalen is warmed up, that's for sure. He's a guy who drops to his knees, but he gets up really quick. It's like he's doing burpees out there. It's like Pete Medhurst. 5 a.m. workouts.
I don't know, Hoss. The only burpees I do are after I drink a soda.
I mean, how about Whalen? Now he's looking at his bench.
Yeah.
The
Trying to
bench
get his
is
team
giving him
pumped
some
up.
love. Yeah, absolutely. That is.
Terps are going to have a flag here again.
Illegal procedure and offsides, it looks like. Maryland only has 6 men in their defensive zone. They may have had a 7th. And if that's the case, just send them over.
Allen gets free, goes to Myers, handcuffs him a little bit. Myers able to pick it up. It is 6-on-6 for the moment. Inside, shot and a goal. Cutting through, Jackson Reed. The Canadian scores, and Ohio State goes up 4-3 with 2:15 to go in the first.
Starts at the defensive end with Skylar Whalen. Look at the swim move from Mulliver. Finds the cutting Owen Murphy. Denied by the pipe. Then we spin the ball around. Look at Maryland. They're relentless. That's a second shot. Third shot. Okay, let's keep it going. Keegan Kahn. I'm coming around. I'm going to try to make a play. Right on the doorstep. There, boom. Skylar Whalen, an unbelievable job absorbing a barrage of Maryland opportunities. Flag down, Jackson Reed. 5 goals a week ago against Johns Hopkins. Take the feed from Jack Myers, and the two captains for the Buckeyes make a play and give Ohio State their first lead of the contest.
Blanchard doing his job in a reserve role at face-off. He's come in and neutralized at least the face-off battle a little bit and not allowed Weirman and his wingman to dominate this thing.
How about Ohio State flipping the script on Maryland? When Maryland won their 2017 national championship, it was John Garino, their third face-off man, that was able to battle Jake Withers, the All-American face-off specialist for Ohio State. Now you have the Buckeyes flipping the script on Luke Weirman.
Good pass on the interior, shot and a goal. Great finish inside by Jason Knox. And the Canadian with a box lacrosse-like finish makes it Buckeyes 5 and Maryland 3.
Knox didn't play last week against Johns Hopkins. He was missed. But how about all the different creators on this Ohio State offense? I mean, for years it was Trey LeClaire and, the Treyettes, if you will. This is equal opportunity offense. Knox takes the feed, whirling dervish inside, zips it home, and the Buckeyes are smacking the Maryland Terrapins right back in the mouth.
Think about this, Mark. They've had a couple of good opportunities that ended up being bad passes that would have been high-quality opportunities as well.
Sure. And credit Skylar Whalen, especially that last sequence. He keeps Maryland at bay and gives his offense on the other end an opportunity to score a goal, and they come through.
Minute 14 to go, 3 in a row now by the Buckeyes to grab this 5-3 lead here. Look, if you're going to win against good teams, your goalie's got to be great. Can't be good, he's got to be great against teams that are electric like this, like Maryland is.
It hasn't been an easy week for Maryland, and we talked to John Tillman about it. Trying not to have your players read social media, read the press clippings. Maryland, great team. Can anyone stop them? Can anyone beat them?
Pass inside, and again another big save by Whalen. Flag down, penalty coming up here against the Buckeyes. And number 1 standing tall between the pipes here for the Buckeyes.
It's going to be a slash against Ohio State.
Red, number 1, slash, 1 minute.
Peter Buchanan, referee, a.k.a. Hollywood Pete Medhurst. Always gives great mechanics for the camera.
Peter Buchanan, also an excellent football official as a back judge in the American Athletic Conference.
Look at you.
Saw him a couple of times on the trail broadcasting Navy's games in football.
But what have we talked about in order for a team like Maryland to get knocked off, okay? Got to watch for injuries. Hot goaltender is the second one. And we're seeing it. Skylar Whalen has been hot in this first quarter.
Short turnaround, 2. Great check, stepping in the passing lane that time by Carson Rainey.
So that slash was on your goaltender, Whalen. Caton Johnson, the starter at the beginning of the season, has to come in a reserve role. So Johnson didn't have to face a shot. Great job by his man down unit to quell the Maryland EMO. And it looks like Ohio State's going to be able to dodge this bullet as the quarter's going to end, and they'll have possession to begin the second stanza.
Maryland scored twice in the first 58 seconds, and you thought it might be an avalanche, but the Buckeyes answered twice within a minute. And after 1, they now lead it by a count of 5-3 after 1 here in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Tomorrow, don't miss women's lacrosse as the 8th-ranked Terps square off with the Buckeyes. Coverage begins tomorrow at noon Eastern on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Talking about the Maryland women, Pete, Emily Sterling, their outstanding goaltender. Jamie Lazda leads that Ohio State Buckeye offense for Coach Amy Bacher. That's going to be a good one. Right now, the men are locking horns, and that was a heck of a first 15 minutes of action. What do you say?
Yeah, not bad. Maryland 2-0 after 58 seconds. Since then, though, Buckeyes 5-1. And again, Mark, we talk about it. How do you answer adversity? Nick Myers' club had the answer in a big way after that first 58 seconds.
We talked about it. You know, it's like you got those, remember those old Mike Tyson fights when he would take on like Michael Spinks? And
if you could survive the first round, you have
exactly.
a shot.
Unfortunately, Michael Spinks and his jaw did not. But, you know, you got to take those hits, and you might get a little bit of rubber leg, but if you can get your standing 8 count, gather yourself, and come back, Ohio State did just that. Now you're Maryland. And you look, John Tillman's been here before. Bobby Benson, Jesse Bernhardt, his coaching staff. It's like, come on, guys. We didn't play great that first quarter. We had opportunities. Their goaltender made some awesome saves. Let's just get back to Maryland lacrosse and, you know, get the ball back and let's just chip away.
13 seconds remaining on the penalty to Whalen, the Ohio State goalie, and Allen just going to be content to run the width of the end zone here to kill off the remaining penalty time, which now has 3, 2, and 1. And the Buckeyes will get back to full strength. So to go back to the play by Connor Rainey defensively, he stepped in the passing lane. Maryland never got a shot off that 60-second EMO.
And that's the difficult thing about NCAA rules. When you have a penalty on your goalie, there's no warm-up. He has to go off for the foul to serve his own foul, and the backup comes in with no warm-up. Luckily, it's not a cold, blistery day here, so it's not as hard to come off the bench, but still facing no shots, coming in to face a Maryland team.
Shot clock at 5.
He caught a break, not having to face any heat.
Backhand shot on goal. So the shot clock resets, but the ground ball picked up by the Terps with Matt Rahill.
Good defense by Maryland. Didn't really allow Ohio State to get anything on that abbreviated offensive push because they were waiting to kill the penalty. And now Maryland, uncharacteristic, looking up at the scoreboard, being down by a couple of goals at this stage. It's been a minute.
Jake Higgins with a successful clear for the Terps. But you know what? As the season goes along, and as the competition gets better in the tournament, of course, in the big tournament, you're going to have moments like this. Probably good for Maryland to get tested here as they are by the Buckeyes right now.
Without a doubt.
Kahn behind the goal. Shot clock at 35. Tries to get inside.
That's good defense.
Good rotation. Good save that time by Whalen along the left side. Kahn able to knock it out. Whalen able to get it back, and here come the Buckeyes.
Tyler Gallagher, great job defending Keegan Kahn. Kahn uses that lanky frame to get his inside shoulder in on you to gain leverage and get around you or roll inside of you, and Gallagher was having none of it. Great physical defense by Tyler Gallagher. Kahn has been on fire. lately for Maryland. And that is a really, really good 1v1 defense that we just saw from Gallagher.
A great story from John Tillman about him this week. You know, he thought that Kahn doing that prep year, because they looked at him when he was in high school, but he thought him doing that prep year really helped him as a player, give him that extra year of development, and obviously the production at Villanova, top notch. Shot from 12. Goal! And again, the Buckeyes continue to pour it on. A 6-1 run from Ohio State continues with a perimeter smash here from 12 yards away.
Credit this goal to Mitchell Pelkey on the assist. Pelkey just jitterbugging at goal line extended behind the K's, looks through the defense and finds his man. Nice little step down right there. Looked like it was number 22, Johnny Weissman, with the finish. But Pelkey, the back and forth. Maryland's defense guilty of ball watching. They gave up the backside. Pelkey finds Weissman, and he hammers it home.
For Ohio State over the last 7 minutes now in this game. They're going to have a push here, or a hold, and it'll go back to Ohio State.
You know, Makar on that switch with Fairman off of Jack Myers, and him basically staring Myers down and not paying attention to his assignment after the switch, that shows you the focus that this Maryland defense has on Big Jack Myers. And I think the Buckeyes are taking full advantage of it, winning other matchups, and just finding backside guys wide open.
Speed dodge from behind the goal. White shot gets knocked aside by McNaney. Ground ball Makar far side. And he'll find Higgins here on the near.
That was textbook by Makar. Great ground ball. Correct turn away from the ride. And his head up. And he makes a crisp cross-field pass. Logan McNaney hasn't been as sharp as we've seen him in 2022. He could benefit from making a couple of saves, maybe getting into a groove a little bit. He looks a little off-kilter so far in this one.
Also, maybe is it the quality of opportunities that the Buckeyes are getting that he doesn't necessarily see more often than not, too.
A couple of those goals in the first quarter are right on top of him in the crease, but that step down, I've seen him make that save before. Great shot by Weissman. Don't take anything away from him.
From behind the goal, Wisnowskis stopped by Wellington again. They'll play back into the crease. Maryland's scoreless now for the last 14 minutes. And it's ironic, we talk so much about Maryland's number one. It's Ohio State's number one that has them ahead of number one right now, 6-3.
Yeah, Skylar Whalen has played terrific. He has a tendency, watching him on previous games, and then here today, he likes to go low. He will drop, but he's doing a great job of keeping his hands up, but his body is dropping. So we'll see if Maryland can pick up on that. And then maybe, we saw the high bouncer from Puglisi earlier find pay dirt.
Myers. On the inside again. Ohio State continues to find life on the interior. Colby Smith puts it home, and it's the Buckeyes 7 and Maryland 3, and the Terps are having a big-time conference in front of the goal, trying to get some answers right now.
Jack Myers, such a great conductor of this Ohio State offense. Not the most fleet of foot. Reminds me of Tim Nelson somewhat, a former Syracuse attackman from the 80s who just used his size and strength to kind of lull the defense to sleep. And watch him, little sky whammy, sees the cutter across the face of the goal, finds Colby Smith. What a great finish. Ohio State really rolling heavy right now in College Park.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Next Sunday, the Buckeyes wrap up the regular season when they collide with the Wolverines. Don't miss Big Ten Men's Lacrosse next Sunday at 7 Eastern on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. If you're going to beat number one, Mark, no question Nick Myers right now pinning his hopes, making the change to Skylar Whalen, and so far, Skylar Whalen coming up big for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, this is Whalen's 5th start of the season, and he has been playing terrific. 6 saves, and some of them of the point-blank variety, heavy barrage, seeing it from the outside. So Skylar Whalen really doing a terrific job. Weirman wins an important face-off from Maryland. I like the timeout from John Tillman. He senses, it's weird to say, for a University of Maryland team that's been so dominant here in 2022, he sensed the game is kind of getting away from them.
A little danger time.
Settle them down, get this offense on the field, and see if they can start clicking.
Left side, get out!
Kyle Long with a nice pass to the backside for DeMeo. Up top was Nauskas. Donville from the wing. Let's see if number one can assert himself at this end for Maryland. He'll try here, and right on cue, he does. Logan Wisnauskas. When Maryland needs a goal badly, the fans here for the first time in over 15 minutes have something to cheer about as the Terps are back on the board. It's the Buckeyes 7 and Maryland 4.
You can hear the band thumping. Big time game here. I love the high pick. Donville gives it up, just sets that high pick. And you can see just not great communication between the pole and the shorty right there. Should have been a switch. First Maryland goal in almost 16 minutes, delivered by Logan Wisnauskas. And he gets his hands free running downhill. He's a handful, and that time he's able to solve Whalen.
Ocasio back on for this draw here for Ohio State. Ball still free. And finally Higgins comes to pick it up for the Terrapins. Good advance pass back to Weirman in the middle of the field here.
Nice face-off win by Weirman. And offsides. Mental mistake by Maryland. Gives it back to Ohio State.
Stops a 5-goal Ohio State run. With 8.5 to go here, the Buckeyes looking for more after the Maryland miscue, after winning the face-off. For Ohio State, you catch a break here. You see if you can make Maryland pay for the transgression. 7 different goals, 6 different goal scores for Ohio State. And it's going to be a moving pick.
Unfortunate for Ohio State. Now Maryland has to start taking advantage of the Buckeye miscues.
Nice lob ahead here in the advance pass for Higgins. Let's see if Maryland, again, last possession, they went to their money man. See if they try to do that again here as they try to climb back in this one. Clearly the 4-goal deficit, one of the largest Maryland's seen all year, amassing a 10-0 mark.
Second midfield unit on the field for the Terps. Jack Brennan trying to weight room the short stick for Ohio State.
Chorus. Kahn tries to get inside. Oliver finds the cutter inside, right on cue. It's Wisnauskas again on a beauty of a feed from behind the goal. The Terps score 2 in a row, and it's 7-14. It's Ohio State 7 and Maryland 5.
When your backs are against the wall and you need plays, go to your alpha male. And for Maryland, that is Logan Wisnauskas. You don't become the all-time points leader in Maryland history without having a bag of tricks offensively. Here we're going to see Wisnauskas off ball, gets lost in the wash, cutting right-handed. Terrific cut, great feed. Nice one-timer for Logan Wisnauskas to get Maryland back within 2.
Great job by Molliver. When he makes that cut, everything's got to be well-timed. He put it right on his stick, and the Terps back within 2.
We've seen Molliver and Owen Murphy flip-flop between midfield and attack. And so far in this game, Molliver is exclusively at attack. Murphy has exclusively run as a midfielder.
Push on Ohio State. 2 goals now by Wisnowski is in a minute 46. But Mark, when you're struggling, that's what your top guy has to do.
No doubt.
DeMeo right side. Donville. He'll have to carry behind the goal here. Comes out the other side. Flag down against the Buckeyes.
So basically what they're saying, we're going to get unnecessary roughness here as Ohio State ran through the Maryland pick, but then Donville stepped in the crease. That is going to kill the slow whistle. Or expedite, I should say, the slow. It's going to make the play dead. So it's an interference call on Ohio State.
DeChico goes off. So now Maryland with an EMO. Buckeyes man-down defense has been good. They've only allowed 26% on the season.
So what happened right there, Pete, was Owen Murphy got knocked into the crease. So they didn't call an unnecessary roughness, but he was pushed into the crease. Interesting call.
Oh, great passing game, but an even better save by Whalen on the far side as he came across the crease to deny Donville.
I'm impressed with Whalen's reflexes. Good pipe-to-pipe save right there.
I mean, that was textbook passing by Maryland, and just Whalen was better.
How about that handle on that clearing pass by Colby Smith? That one handcuffed him. He did a great job of being able to corral it and then get it out of his stick quickly. That was a nice clear as Connor Camille elected not to take it across. Tough pass to Smith. He handles it. You got to credit Ohio State. They came to play here today. We knew that they would, but they have not been thrown off kilter by anything Maryland has thrown their way.
Scott White has had a solid game. Carries here back to X. Matched up with the short stick of Higgins. Knox has 2 here for the Buckeyes. Shot clock at 18. Myers goes away from the screen.
Myers loves that stick fake.
Inside, shot goes wide from Pelkey. Shot clock at 9. Put it in Myers' stick from the end line against Makar. He'll miss the shot wide. 3 seconds for White to do something.
Yeah, Ohio State's already subbing. I think he's just going to dump it into the corner.
As has become a tradition in lacrosse now.
Look at this cross crease feed, and look at Whalen get pipe to pipe. Tough to see where that one went.
I think it actually, as it went across, it looked like it went off the top of Kahn's stick.
So Whalen was there, but when I saw a stick in the back of the, in the cage, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's what you got to love about Maryland and good lacrosse team. They're only willing to make that one more. That was a good idea right there, just a mishandle. But Maryland, good defensive stand, back on the attack.
That's always make the right play, no matter what the end result is. Make the right play, and good things happen for you usually. DeMeo. Another very experienced piece of this Terrapins puzzle. Inside Donville with a bouncer, and he scores. And just like that, the Terps have scored 3 in a row. They're back within 1 with 4:11 to go in the quarter. Buckeyes 7, Terrapins 6.
So the shots that did not drop in the first quarter are now starting to find the back of the net. You gotta love the off-ball play of this Maryland Terrapin team. Little fake pick. Donville with the fake pick. Defense relaxes for a second, and then Donville slips it. How about the twister shot? Looks like Donville, the Canadian, thought he was running out of real estate. Flicks his wrists over top of one another and delivers a twister past Whalen.
Cornell transfer getting the job done here for the Terrapins. 24th goal of the year for Jonathan Donville. And Ohio State puts play on pause here with a timeout. And Mark, look, we can talk about, grade 5, grade 8, but let's take a look at the USILA top 10 right now.
Yeah, there's Maryland up top, number 1. Georgetown win over Marquette today. Yale upended by the Brown Bears. Shout out Bill Friedman back in Chicago. Bruno getting the job done against the Eli. But there's Rutgers. Win over Michigan 13-12. That was a game that the Scarlet Knights seemingly had in hand. Great rally by Michigan, but Rutgers is able to pull it out in the end. And then there are the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 8 in the country. So the Big Ten well represented in the USILA top 10. And there will be movement this week with Yale going down. Virginia lost earlier in the week to Duke. So how far can Ohio State potentially move up if they can keep this score like this and upset the number 1 ranked Maryland Terrapins?
Mike Adler was ridiculous. We talk about as good as Whalen has been here. Mike Adler for Duke the other night against Virginia was fantastic.
20 saves?
Yeah, I mean, big time saves.
20 saves in that game against the Cavaliers.
And how about the Dolphins of Jacksonville?
Having a great year.
Top 10.
They're just having a terrific year. And what you have to love about Jacksonville is Richmond upset Virginia, and then they had to turn right around and face Jacksonville. And that was you're looking at a Spider team with a lot of momentum, and Jacksonville was able to handle them.
Yeah. 3 unanswered for the Terps now over the last 4:49 to get back in it here after trailing 7-3.
But looking at that top 10, you want to talk about quality out-of-conference wins. Maryland has defeated Princeton. They've beaten Notre Dame.
Rutgers. So, I mean, yep, just keep adding them up. No questioning of their quality building that 10-0 mark. That's for sure. Smith from the far side. Try to get along the goal line. Marked there by Alex Smith for the Terrapins. Good double team by Maycar. Now getting back to his man. Myers behind the goal. Myers. Smith gets it back now. Myers from the wing this time. Still plenty of time. Shot clock counting down to 40 here. Scott White. He'll try it down a left alleyway. Fires the shot. That goes wide. Backed up by Colby Smith.
The Maryland has definitely tightened things up on the inside, and they look like they're communicating a whole lot better than they were earlier in the game.
Good job by good recovery there by Smith. Shot goes wide. Buckeyes with 25 still on the shot clock here.
So 2 shots, nothing on frame. Hence, you still only have 25 seconds to shoot.
Myers gets the pick, comes inside, and McNaney with his best stop of the game right there. Close range as Myers trying to go high to high.
Well, that's the save that we were talking about that McNaney had yet to make in this contest. And Myers, I mean, you've got 6'4" coming from behind the cage, front swinging to jam it down your throat. And McNaney, 5'8", stood his ground, snuffs him. That is a gigantic save for the Maryland junior.
Long, playing back for DeMeo. DeMeo fires long range, and Whalen has the answer. Not sure if they realize it in the stadium, but the stadium clock is not moving. It is stuck on 3:14. The shot clock is moving, but the game clock is finally moving. There's no way that, I mean, that time was stuck on 3:14 for a while.
Yeah, somebody's got to recognize that, because that's a difference of like 40-45 seconds.
Colby Smith through the traffic, shot goes wide. Now mechanically, isn't that one of your trail officials usually?
Yeah, and you also rely on game operations to let you know if something funky has happened. And coaches oftentimes pick that up, but looks like no one picked it up. And we're going to play some extra time here. If you're Ohio State and you're up, you want this thing as short as possible.
It's like soccer when you have the added time at the end of a half. Good battle for the ground ball, far side, out of bounds to Maryland. Great. Great work by our crew back in Chicago, Mark. Roughly 45 seconds that clock was stuck at 3:14. It's a great job by our crew back in the studio to be able to bring you that information. So,
and I don't know how you would handle it at this point. No one recognized it. No one rectified it. So we play on.
Inside, shot and a goal. Nifty little switch to the left hand by Jack Corus. And the sophomore from Loyola Blakefield gets Maryland even. They've scored 4 in a row. They've answered Ohio State. It's now 7-7.
Corus has made a living off of cut goals in 2022. Here he just takes matters into his own hands. Nice spread out approach. Gets the Ohio State defense to have long slides and nothing comes. Corus just gets inside of his man, cruises down the alley and softly whispers it by Skylar Wayland. And we've got a tie game. Maryland, 4 unanswered goals.
Nifty little switch of the hand there by Corus, and he flicks it by Wayland, and we're tied up at 7. And now the Terrapins, just like we talked about, Ohio State answering the adversity the first 58 seconds. Terps have answered back after trailing 7-3.
Big ground ball by Bubba Fairman as well. A nice seal by Weirman as a pole for Ohio State was about to pick it up. He disrupted that, sealed on the loose ball. Man ball right there, and great pickup by Bubba Fairman.
Terps looking for more now, as now it's Ohio State on the ropes a little bit here after watching Maryland score 4 straight. The Buckeyes have hit a drought of their own.
Got to dig in. This team has shown that they can play. They've got confidence. They've got a little swagger. They just have to big defensive stand right here.
Wisnauskas looking to force it inside for Donville. Ball dropped. He scoops it back toward DeMeo. DeMeo counted by 2 guys in scarlet jerseys, and we're going to have a push. It'll stay with Maryland. Reset the shot clock to 60 here with 1:07 to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, that's unlucky for Ohio State. Maryland still has a timeout left.
John Tillman and Bobby Benson standing side by side over there on the far side, discussing offense right now here and strategy. The shot clock at 45, the game clock at 52.
I think Maryland's going to try to bleed this thing down as quick as possible, or as low as possible. They might call a timeout around 30 seconds. Excuse me.
Kyle Long controlling on the far side. Marked by Connor Camille.
See if Maryland's comfortable with the personnel that Ohio State has on the field, and if they like their matchups.
Long now sprints behind the goal. Shot clock at 15. Comes back to the near side, backhand opportunity. Wayland makes the stop.
We saw Wayland drop on that one, and the good thing he did. That was a low-to-low offering, and he was all over it.
10 seconds to go. Good job up the near side by Connor Camille. Can he get something away here with 3 seconds? He will. He'll shoot, and McNaney has the save. And an entertaining first half in this top 10 battle. Both teams throwing haymakers, only to have them answered by the other. Maryland down 7-3, 4 unanswered in the final 9 minutes as we played an extra 45 seconds, Mark.
Here's what was going on when the game clock was not running. Do not adjust your set. We have sped up the action. You can put your own Benny Hill music behind that if you'd like, but no one recognized that the clock stayed frozen while 45 seconds of game action went off.
But one of the few times Maryland has found itself down with that type of deficit, and the Terrapins found the answers here in that second quarter. Pleased to be joined now by Maryland head coach John Tillman. Coach, your guys took a punch there, down 7-3, but found the answers to get back in it. Thoughts on the way your guys got back even here at 7?
Yeah, I'm proud of my guys. I thought they did a good job of just kind of making the next play, not worrying about what the score was. We have great leadership on this team, so the guys showed a lot of poise and really just wanted to play one play at a time.
Coach, defensively, looks like you're paying a lot of attention to Jack Myers, as most teams do. How has he disrupted your defense, and what adjustments did you make, and which ones do you think you have to continue to make to be successful today?
Well, we were just a half step slow, getting going today. And, we were just watching the ball too much, opening up the inside. Did help on some slides. And to their credit, the guys picked up the pace. We've been better, but we've got to continue to be better, and stuff we'll talk about at halftime for sure.
Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Maryland head coach John Tillman as his team got 2 in the first 58 seconds, trailed by 4, but got back in it, and we are all even going to the break here in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Welcome back to College Park. Man, for the Maryland side, been really good here in this first half, entertaining the crowd here, and the lacrosse players have entertained everybody as well. Pete Medhurst, Mark Dixon, great to have you back with us. Mark, sometimes top 10 showdowns don't necessarily live up to the billing. So far here in this one, these 2 Big Ten top 10 teams have done just that.
It's been a terrific 30 minutes of lacrosse. I mean, you talk about Ohio State coming into this game, not many people giving them really the benefit of the doubt or any chance to knock off Maryland. And 58 seconds in, we thought it was going to be that way, but the Buckeyes fought back, built a 4-goal lead. The Terps had to dig deep. They've been able to respond. I can't wait for the second half.
And of course, one of the big reasons why the Buckeyes been so good here in the first half and built that lead was because of Skylar Whalen in net.
Well, when we talk this week about who can beat Maryland, how do you beat Maryland, a hot goalie is part of that recipe. And Skylar Whalen was sublime in the first half. Really making some great saves, settled in, was able to see the ball. We see his athleticism coming out of the cage. And we also saw that he's got a chip on his shoulder. He got a foul, Pete. Earned him a minute in the sin bin. But Skylar Whalen, he's been a difference maker for this Buckeye team.
And with the Terps down 7-3, their number 1 got going.
And Logan Wisnauskas answered the bell when his team, John Tillman, called a timeout. And then the next 2 goals were group. Big number 1 for the Maryland Terrapins. The record-breaking attackman showed up in a big way and got Maryland back on track.
All even here in College Park, this top 10 battle. Come back with the second half coming up in a moment on the Big Ten Network.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
We're tied up here in College Park, 7-7. And Mark, in our keys to the game, two areas that we thought Ohio State had to be big in. In goal, Whalen has been there with 9 saves, but also doing well in the faceoff area as well.
Yeah, they've been able to neutralize Luke Weirman to an extent. And those are two things that you have to compete. If you're Maryland, you're going to probably rue those empty man-up possessions. But we've got ourselves a ball game.
7-7 here in College Park. We'll come back with the start of the second half on the Big Ten Network.
Auto Owners insures your car. Because sometimes something from out of left field can literally come from out of left field. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Seven here in College Park as we get set to start the second half. And there you see the number ones who were so brilliant when their teams needed them to be here in this first half. It's a chance now to talk to Ohio State head coach Nick Myers. Coach, your thoughts on the first half from your ball club?
Yeah, listen, our goal is keeping us in it right now. Sky's doing a great job. It's a heck of a ball club. We got to try to get out here and win the first 5 minutes and hang around as long as we can and, put ourselves in a position in the fourth quarter to make a run at this thing.
Coach, faceoffs have been huge for you as well. What have you been successful at, and what would you want to continue to do in the second half?
Yeah, listen, man, we're not giving away freebies. We're competing. There's a lot of loose balls. It's a lot of wing play right now. I think it's pretty 50-50, honestly. I think we keep it that way. That's probably a good thing. We got to keep them out of getting offensive opportunities off the face and try to get a couple extra possessions going our way.
Coach, appreciate the visit. Good luck here in the second half.
Thank you.
Ohio State coach Nick Myers in his 14th year now in Columbus. Not bad for a guy from the state of Maine, and he's made Columbus a nice home here. And Mark, the school has given him the commitment now to his program. Tremendous facilities upgrades, and really, if you're going to fight fire with fire and compete against top 10 teams like this, they've done a nice job supporting him there with athletic director Gene Smith and a lot of donors.
Well, you mentioned athletic director Gene Smith. It's really cool to see him address the team before the game, stay the entire lacrosse game, then talk to the team after the game. Being a member of the Johns Hopkins lacrosse family, we had ADs like that back in the day. Bob Scott, Tom Calder, that cared about the lacrosse program and the student athletes. Amazing to see Gene Smith. And how about that facility that they have going up under construction right now? That is going to be second to none. A heated field. A heated feel.
Well, you need that,
Pete Medhurst.
You need that if you're going to do some lacrosse activities in January and February out in that part of the country.
I mean, I would just go there to sleep.
Wisnowskis from 8 yards away and to the left of Whalen. And just like the game started, where the Terps scored twice in the first 58, they get one in the first 33 here, and Maryland regains the lead, 8-7.
Well, Coach Myers said it. The first 5 minutes are going to be critical. But you can even break that down into, like, the first 5 minute, like, make it 5 one-minute games. And right now, Maryland is up in the first 30 seconds of the first minute. Simple look across the way, and Logan Wisnowskis, so smooth. Groot, like shot, puts it upper 90, and Maryland goes up.
3 goals now for Wisnowskis on the day, and all came after Maryland trailed 7-3. It's their top player. Rose to the occasion here. Buckeyes win the faceoff. Great ground ball battle. Chico picks it up for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Chico's been grinding all day, picking up tough ground balls, gutting out, soaking checks. If you're Ohio State, it's been a while since you've scored a goal.
Over 10 minutes now. Kobe Smith gets the pick, comes inside, tough angle shot, and he scores. We saw Scott White do it from an acute angle earlier, Mark. Colby Smith does it here, and just like that, the Buckeyes answer back.
Let's get physical. If you're Ohio State, they have taken the fight to the Maryland Terrapins. Watch the pick, Jack Myers. And then Colby Smith, most of the time running down that alley, you'll cycle it to X. But Smith decides to roof that sucker. Great wrist strength, top shelf. Colby Smith with a huge goal for Ohio State.
So the Buckeyes get the answer they desperately needed. And look, man, we're seeing the qualities you expect from top 10 teams. A little adversity, no problem. They have the answers for it. Both teams have showed that quality here in this game so far.
Yeah, they really have. And you've got to give credit to Ohio State getting smacked in the mouth. I mean, look, Rutgers is a very good lacrosse team. I loved Brian Breck's post-game comments after their defeat last week. He basically just said, they're better in person than we thought. They do this, they do this. We got exposed.
Yeah.
Like, I loved his candor. And they're going to get another crack at Maryland somewhere down the pike. But this Ohio State team really, again, unranked in the preseason. No preseason All-Americans. Ranked 5th in the preseason poll for the Big Ten Men's Lacrosse Conference. And, you know, Nick Myers told us this week that, oh, yeah, you know, we're not as good as people say we are. When we're great, we're not as bad as when people say we are. He goes, we know who we are.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
I mean, look, the results over the last couple of years with everything everybody was facing. I mean, you have to accept the results you had, but sometimes with what these kids were facing, you almost can't hold them to those results, though. And there's a difference. Bolivar with a pass inside for Wisnowskis. Ball broken up, heads to the far side. And a push. It's going to go out of bounds first, or when we get the push, it'll go out of bounds first, and it'll go to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and if you're Ohio State, this is a team in 2017 that competed for a national championship. They were in the national championship game against this Maryland program, and it was a dogfight.
3 huge games between these two teams in 2017.
Yeah, the regular season game was won by Ohio State. The Big Ten championship game in Columbus was a slugfest, won late by Maryland. And then they win the national championship game. And Ohio State since then has been trying to find that success. For the longest time, it was Hendrick, LeClaire, Taranfenko on campus, and now those guys are gone. And maybe, look, those guys are awesome players, forever etched in Buckeye history, but maybe they were too reliant on those 3. And now with their graduations, you got other guys that are stepping up and making plays and getting the job done for Ohio State.
Ambitious pass there, intercepted by Matt Rahill for Maryland. And the Terps start to clear left to right. It's kind of a similar thing to what Rutgers went through with all of the great players they've had over the last couple of years. But as we've seen, Ross Scott, those guys ready to, keep that mantle and keep Rutgers a top 10 program. And I think sometimes in the global view, we do give some programs the benefit of the doubt. And I don't think we did that for an Ohio State program that had the rare off year last year under 500.
Well, it was big and it was conference only last year as well.
Right.
And the silly narrative became the Big Ten is down. And that one could have been farther from the truth.
Left-handed shot. Whalen ready for the answer on chorus. Tied at 8 with 10:45 to go here in the third quarter. We've had 4 ties and 2 lead changes here in College Park today. So Whalen makes his 10th save of the game.
And the Ohio State defense has done a nice job of making guys on the Maryland team do things that they typically don't do. That's not what you want to have.
Second careless turnover now by Ohio State. One with a failed clear earlier, and that one they get it over here, but unable to continue on an offensive possession. That's 2 possessions now this second half that they've given away with uncaused turnovers.
Yeah, those will cause coaches' hairline to look like mine, tearing it out. But they've made Jack Corse a Dodger on that second midfield. And it's not that Corse isn't capable. He scored a goal off of that, but he's more of a cutter and off-ball guy.
Pass back up to the point. DeMeo fires and scores. Now they're going to wave it off. Crease violation on the pass. So it'll take away the long-range bullet from DeMeo.
Nice job by the officials, both of them. You had your single side and your goal official waving that thing off. They came in big. That's what you have to do in calls like that. You got to come in big. You got to come in demonstrative, confident. And Ohio State was whistle ready. They got that quick whistle, and they cleared the ball without any problem.
8-8 as we count down to the 9.5-minute mark to go here in this third quarter. Each team with a tally so far after halftime. Maryland scored 2 in the first 58 seconds. If you're just joining us, Ohio State then built a 7-3 lead. Inside shot and a goal. Ari Allen with the finish. And a terrific dish from Scott White, and the Buckeyes bounce back on top.
What an incredible handle by Ari Allen. Super glue in his stick. Here's the crease violation. Kyle Long with the pass. Looks like backside of the cage. Actually, it's the front side of the cage. A cutter just steps on the crease. It was Wisnauskas. And look at this handle. Velcro hands by Ari Allen. Catches it at his belly button, crosses his hands up, gets it back, and puts it past McNaney. What a sweet handle by Ari Allen.
It's a great look by Scott White because Allen doesn't have to break stride there, Mark, and that's the key to getting that shot away inside there. Third lead change of the quarter as the guys in scarlet and gray go back on top.
I've been really impressed with Scott White. He's been a handful all day. He is quick, he's nimble, and he's got a great stick. He's created matchup problems for Maryland all afternoon.
8:45 to go, and the Buckeyes lead by 1 here, third quarter in College Park. Myers. Making White rather along the goal line. Plays it back out here to Colby Smith. Shot clock at 25 now for Ohio State, as Smith will back it out. Dodging against Higgins. Draws the slide. Carries behind the goal. And a stick hit by Makar as he went by. Makar causes the turnover, and he starts transition left to right here for the Terrapins. Higgins trying to get into play with him. Makar with a long pole. Hits the secondary trailer. Puglisi comes inside, shoots, and scores. Textbook transition, all directed by the big fella, Brett Makar, with the long pole mark. He did a fine job communicating as he went downfield. He hits the secondary man, and Puglisi puts it home, and the Terps tied at 9.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. Colby Smith, way too much time with the ball in your stick. It died in number 4's stick. And then here comes Maryland. Jailbreak time. Look at Puglisi, the trailer. Face dodge clinic. Don't wave your stick in the air. You got to get your hands on the gloves like you care. And look at Puglisi Face dodge, as easy as it comes, bounces it past Whalen. Sloppy play by Ohio State on both ends of the field.
And in close games, Mark, transition goals where your short stick defensive midfielders and your defensemen cash in on the tally can be huge.
That's the second goal for Puglisi on the afternoon.
Gives him now 8 on the year. 5th tie of the game. Inside, quick answer, Myers! Right on the crease, and he puts it home, and the Buckeyes again have an answer. As we come back and forth with haymakers here in College Park, Ohio State by 1 at the 7:40 mark.
Myers was wide open underneath of this Maryland defense. Look at all the white jerseys. Just kind of chased, got really sloppy. No identification below. Look at Ajax Zapatello, number 56 in white, being like, dudes, what are we doing? I mean, that is the biggest target on the field, the most dangerous Ohio State offensive weapon. And there was no one within 10 yards of Big Jack Myers. He takes the feed, dunks it home, and the Buckeyes go back up again.
Wehrman out the front door. Quick extra pass on the crease to Kahn. Kahn gets free inside. Kahn switches to the left hand. Whalen makes the save.
I love how Whalen stayed home. He stayed home. We've seen goalies this year, when a guy gets an opportunity like that, jump out at the shooter or leave their feet. Whalen just said, I'm going to hold my ground and see how it goes. And nice save by Skylar Whalen on a freed up Keegan Kahn.
Mark, he's had to be 20 of the 24 shots by Maryland on frame in this game.
How about the job that the Ohio State defense is doing on Keegan Kahn? He's been silent here today so far in terms of stats.
Colby Smith keeps it moving. Myers up top here. Gurr across the box. Has his pass knocked down, gets it back. Dangerously close to that midfield line. Good defense by the Terrapins by Zapatello. Shot clock at 20 here for Ohio State. Myers. Keep it moving to the far. Shot clock at 10. Pass on the angle. And McNaney makes the save. Stopping Pelkey.
Nice job by McNaney. He's given up that shot twice so far in this game. That time he read it, did a great job of getting his stick over, and saved it clean.
Fairman gets it to Alex Smith. Instead, D, of course, heads up the NFLPA.
Smith is rounding into form after that knee injury. Yep. You can see him every week. He's getting stronger, more confident.
And I think that's the key, Mark. It's confidence in being able to move out there when you come back from an injury of that caliber.
You got him and Jake Higgins. You can see the knee sleeve on Higgins as well.
You can see Higgins trying to get into that transition play as well. Here's DeMayo. Save again, Whalen. Deflected. Rebound behind the goal. Cut in front. Shot and a goal. Wisnauskas from Molliver. At 5:24. The Turks back on the board. Wisnauskas with his 4th of the day. We're tied at 10.
The difference between McNaney and Whalen in this sequence is McNaney makes a clean save. He doesn't give up the rebound. Ball cycles down. Great look down low by Zupicic. And then he saves it cleanly. No rebound. There's Whalen with the save, but no clean save. Rebound up top. Wisnauskas scores. That's the difference in that goalie sequence between McNaney and Whalen.
Tied at 10 here in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Ohio State has faced Maryland as a number 1 before. Let's give you a flashback as we're tied up at 10 here. Let's go back to April of 2018.
This was after 2017, where Ohio State lost to the Terps in the Big Ten championship game and the national championship game. The Alabama Shake, Jack Jasinski, leading the Buckeyes that day as they came into College Park and stole one from the Maryland Terrapins 12-10. They were unranked at the time, ranked 9th. Now, in this year's edition, 10-10 with 5:24 left to go. Can history repeat itself, Pete?
Ignacio wins the face-off here. Had 6 ties in the game, 3 in this quarter. Every time one team rings the bell, the other team comes back. And the combination of Ignacio and Blanchard today been very good for Ohio State facing off.
And you think about Weirman, he's been an Iron Man thus far this season for Maryland, taking probably about 85-90% of their face-offs. Will he wear down at some point?
Here's a shot. McNaney makes the save on Colby Smith on the high-to-low offering. Ground ball near side. Zapatel had it knocked out of his hands, or Probilski able to pick it up.
Nice ground ball by Probilski coming out of that pile-up with the rock.
Sun coming back out here in College Park. We've got rain, literally like rain, all around us, just north of College Park.
Don't say, no,
not here.
No rain talk, Pete. Stop.
It's giving you live, up-to-date weather.
I don't want to hear it. It's nice and pleasant where we are. Come on,
yes,
man.
It is.
Why are you going to do that to me?
We're undercover, though. That's the good thing.
Undercover?
Yes, sir.
This is like, I mean, you know.
We're over here isolated all by ourselves. We're looking at that big crowd, expansive group.
It's the best view.
Great turnout by the people here today. Donville takes a shove, gives it up here.
But if weather comes, man, I don't know if we're undercover, my friend.
Kahn trying to get untracked here. Up top for DeMeo. Shot clock at 25. Long down the right alleyway. To the backside. DeMeo comes inside. Collects the rebound. Shot clock resets to 60. Another rebound here for the Terrapins. Last time they got one, they cashed it in. See if they can do it again. Donville has a wide open Wisnauskas. Inside extra pass. Low-to-low offering. And Kahn cashes in at 3:25 of the third. Maryland 11 and Ohio State 10.
This is man-to-man offense for the Maryland Terrapins, just continuing to pressure and put stress on this Buckeye D. And Keegan Kahn was wide open. Look at Wisnauskas. He had a shot right here. He sees Kahn. Kahn was not only so wide open to get a shot off, he could set his feet, measure up the goal, lower his stick, and rip a worm burner past Skylar Whalen. Nick Myers, I think, smartly takes a timeout. He did not like what he saw on that last offensive possession for Maryland.
It's the brilliance of the great players right there, though. Wisnauskas could have shot that, but the vision, the instinct, he knows these guys. He sees 2 guys coming at him. He knows somebody's open, and he finds a guy wide open cavity on the defense.
The one more, and Keegan Kahn has not been that uncovered all game long. Ohio State has done a tremendous job really erasing him from having an influence on the game, but Kahn, like so many other great scorers, he steps up at critical moments, and that feed from Wisnauskas and him potting it allows Maryland to go back up by 1.
There you see the coach of the number 1 team in the country, but 3 Big Ten teams in the top 10 as we go around the conference here, Mark.
And earlier today, Rutgers was able to withstand a Michigan rally in Ann Arbor and come out with a 1-goal win. Later tonight, Penn State pays a visit to Homewood Field to take on the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. The Nittany Lions, a lot of wind in their sails after knocking off Michigan in overtime last week in Happy Valley. Johns Hopkins trying to end a losing streak, 2-game skid. They've lost to Rutgers and Ohio State over the last couple of weeks, and it's danger time for the Blue Jays because they are sub 500, and you don't want to go into the Big Ten tournament being a win, an all-or-nothing proposition.
Meanwhile, since Maryland trailed 7-3, remember, Maryland scored 2 goals in the first 58 seconds of this game, led 2-0. Since they trailed 7-3, Logan Wisnauskas now 4 goals and 1 assist for the Terrapins. So when the going gets tough, your best have to get going. And Maryland's number 1 has done that as they try to preserve that number 1 ranking here today. Weirman out the front door. Head up, fires the shot, and he scores. He's an Ironman, Mark, but Ironman just scored here for Maryland.
Not what you wanted to have happen come out of a timeout if you are Ohio State, but Weirman wins it out the front door. And Ohio State decides to lock down on the attackman. They're not going to slide to the faceoff man. Actually, the slide was way late, and we've seen this before. Weirman is very comfortable cruising down Baltimore Avenue and sticking it, and he does just that. Another big goal for number 52.
A lucky number 7 for him on the season. 2 goals in 5 seconds for Maryland to break a 10-10 tie. Zapatello in the passing lane breaks that pass up there. As Ohio State tried to get something going off of the face-off themselves. But after trailing 7-3, Maryland has finally worked back to their first 2-goal lead since they led 2-0 58 seconds in.
Well, you know, Ohio State, another standing 8 count. Can they respond? They have been doing that all afternoon.
Myers gets this pick. Inside shot and a goal. Colby Smith on the interior. Beautiful dish from Myers. And Ohio State gets one back. 2:43 to go in the third. Maryland 12 and Ohio State 11.
I haven't seen Maryland give up this many interior goals in 2 years. I mean, take last year's season. Ohio State, they're paying so much attention to Jack Myers. I think they're just doing a lot of ball watching. And Colby Smith is just able to find a soft spot in that clutter of people. And Jack Myers, using that 6'4" frame, we talked about Wisnauskas leading the charge for Maryland. Myers on the other end is going to have to do it for Ohio State. He continues to deliver.
34th goal of the year and a hat trick. Weirman out the front door, gives it up at the pass. Murphy, I think, was getting into shooting form before catching it first. And a turnover here by Maryland.
Well, credit Jacob Schneider. We saw him be a day late and $1 short with the slide over to Weirman on that last face-off that he won out the front side. That time he was there, much faster, made Weirman give it up, and I think he may have disrupted that passing motion ever so slightly. But you're right, Murphy had eyes. He had eyes on the goal like you're going to have eyes on that ham tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. I will be at Shirley Joyce's house eating copious amounts of ham tomorrow afternoon.
It's got to be my least favorite meat of the holidays. What about you?
Always a debatable topic. Do you go ham, turkey, lamb? I mean, there's all kinds of different ways you can go at the holidays. You can give me ham anytime, though.
I'm not a ham guy.
I'll take your ham then.
Okay, you can have it.
You save it for me.
Give me some turkey, maybe a little bit of tenderloin.
Inside, wow. Off the side of the pipe, run out, far side. Who's going to get there? Nice job by McNaney. Instinct play by the goalie.
Well, unlucky for Ohio State. That shot tattooed Ari Allen behind the cage, changed the direction of the shot. Had that not hit Allen, he was right there. Yep. It's Ohio State ball, but it hits him in the elbow. Karams to closer to McNaney, and McNaney, heady play, runs it out of bounds and wins possession for the Terps.
Get Allen an ice bag for that moment. This game is over. Minute 10 to go here in the quarter. Wisnauskas gives it up for long. We were tied at 7 at the break. Neither team giving an inch here in this one, as you would expect. 2 top 10 teams from the Big Ten. Number 1 has gotten all they've wanted from the Buckeyes here today. Kahn. Tiptoeing behind the goal, comes up above goal line, goes down, and Whalen makes the save, and then secures the rebound. This time, more importantly, Mark, that ball was loose for a moment, But Whalen able to reach out and bring it back in for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, like that game when we were kids, Hungry Hippos.
Yes,
you got to pull that thing back in. Does a great job of it. And I think he's got Kahn thinking a little bit when he comes in front swings. See a little hesitation in Keegan Kahn. He's also dropping his stick. And Whalen is all over it.
14 saves now for the senior out of Powell, Ohio. 10 seconds to go. Myers behind the goal against Makar. Up above goal line. Tries to get a shot away. McNaney is there. Covered his near side post perfectly. Fairman scoops up the ground ball. We'll go to the fourth here in College Park with Maryland up by 1.
What an entertaining game. Two quality teams. Big Ten opponents going toe-to-toe. The final 15 minutes will decide it. Who's going to blink first?
In the first half, it was Skylar Whalen. In the second half, Logan McNaney. The Stars are out as we go to the fourth in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
With insurance from auto owners, you can relax knowing we got you covered. That's simple human sense.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
I should do this for a living.
Tremendous game so far through 3 quarters here, as you would expect from 2 top 10 teams here in the Big Ten Conference. And for Skylar Whalen, the Buckeyes made the move to him in goal, Mark, and so far it's paid off here. He's got a career-high 14 saves as Maryland has been shooting very accurately here this afternoon.
Big body, goaltender, 6 foot, 220 pounds. He's got a career-high 14 saves. I love his reactions. I love his athleticism. And Logan McNaney, I mean, we've had him so many times. Diminutive in stature, but gigantic in performance. Just doing a great job. And his clean saves there in the third quarter, meaning he didn't give up rebounds. They were a difference maker for this Maryland Terrapin team. I think this is great for the Maryland faithful around the, all the hard shells out there are like, wait a second, we don't really want close games, but this is good for Maryland.
Right.
To have a dogfight, to have a team challenging them going into the fourth quarter. It's been a while since the Terps have faced this situation.
Ehrman out the front door again. Cross-box pass. Wisnauskas misses high. Great opportunity again. Wehrman's won 3 draws in a row that he's won. All have been out the front door and have created a problem, including scoring one himself.
Yeah, if I'm either Blanchard or Ignacio, I've got to remedy that. Yeah. I've got, Ohio State had a lot of success making the face-off 50-50 opportunities in the first half.
Nice pass across box, shot and a goal. It's DeMeo from Donville. 30 seconds in. Maryland keeps doing this. They did it in the first quarter. They did it in the third quarter. Now they do it again in the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. They built the lead back to 2. It's Maryland 13 and Ohio State 11.
Quick strike offense for the Terps. Watch Donville. Gets underneath, has an angle, and look at the vision. And look at the motion of DeMayo. A lot of times when your teammate gets a step on their defender, you stop playing. You stop moving. You're like, okay, cool, this is going to be a goal. DeMayo continued to mirror Donville on the other side of the field, takes the slick pass and whips it far post. Great offense by Maryland.
We talk about it all the time. Quality of your off-ball movement. So important in creating offense for your team. And Weirman this time, a little bit tougher battle, but able to win another face-off for Maryland. So now that we've come to winning time here in the fourth quarter, you know, can number one keep making these winning plays as they've done all season long.
And we can see Maryland has gone to Owen Murphy at attack, not Eric Mulliver. We'll see if Mulliver gets runs out of the box.
Long to the backside for Wisnauskas. He scores. High to low shot. Number 5 on the day for number 1. And at 13:59, Maryland has its biggest lead of the day. It's the Terps 14 and Ohio State 11.
We've seen Wisnauskas score goals in a variety of ways today. We've seen him sweep across the top using a pick. We've seen him cut right-handed. We've seen him with time and room on the left-hand side of the cage. This time he's just going to shade and fade, have Kyle Long find him. Every man's a goalie. Can't duck if you're Ohio State. And I think the Buckeyes were looking for a moving pick in there. They were looking for an illegal screen. That's how Wisnauskas, they are claiming, got so wide open.
5-1 now for Wisnauskas. Guy that's got a school record 5 8-point games to his credit, just 2 short of that here this afternoon. But Mark, I go back, when they were down 7-3, it was him right then and there who got the next 2 tallies for Maryland. He stepped up at the most important time for his team, and he's been the man since then.
He really has. This is danger time for Ohio State. They've had a couple of danger zones in this game. This is the latest. Down 3. Maryland scored the first 2 goals of this quarter.
More importantly, Weirman keeps winning face-offs here.
Exactly.
So it's make it take it.
And Ohio State looks like they've gone into a little bit of a zone. They're packing it in. Mulliver is on the field for Maryland.
Again, Terps sitting in a diamond formation, throwing it around. Pass from Kahn behind, gets knocked down. Ball loose on the end line. Kahn saves it.
Look at Whalen.
But Whalen right there through the traffic to pick it up and get the ground ball for his team when they needed it desperately.
And that was a great ground ball on the end line for Ohio State to get it off the carpet. Take it out of the equation a little bit, just for a second. And that allowed Whalen to come back and assist. And so when that ball was knocked out of the stick of the defender, I believe it was Schneider, Whalen was right there to pick up the loose change. Excuse me, that was Tyler Gallagher with the nifty
42,
ground ball.
Yep.
Yeah, 42 and 52 down there. And as the sun begins to, the clouds are rolling in. I hate you, Pete.
I try to tell you. A great pick up there. Shot gets blocked, though, by Rahill in front. Here come the Terps in transition. Trailing opportunity, Puglisi keeps it moving. Wisnauskas, extra pass across, shot, and a goal. Molliver puts it home as the Terps put on a transition passing clinic. And with 12:03 to go in the fourth, it's Maryland 15 and Ohio State 11, the biggest lead of the day for the Terps.
If you are a youth coach, high school coach, even a college coach, and you want to teach how to run transition offense, how to run a fast break, this is the clip for you. Great job by Probilski to lead the charge down the field, and look at that passing. Ridiculous. The accuracy, the unselfishness, and watch Mulliver take a step in front of the cage to increase his angle. He uses gravity against the defender. His own body weight was taking him one way, Mulliver pops the other and slips it past Whalen.
4 great passes, cross the cross. Here's Weirman again, long range shot. Whalen makes the save that time on Owen Murphy.
And I wasn't crazy about the shot from Ohio State. It was a pass that was deflected and bounced into the stick of the Ohio State attackman, and it wasn't of the highest quality. And you have been playing defense now for the first 3.5 minutes of the quarter. I didn't love the shot. It didn't make it to the goal, and it actually spurred Bobrilski out to pick up that ground ball and start the transition.
You had Smith defending the man on ball, and then you had Rahill also between you and the goal, and the ball deflected off of him. Ohio State trying to get a quick answer. McNaney makes the save. Can't find the ball in front. Terps do find it. It's Makar. Takes a shot. Legal hit from the front. Fairman finds the ground ball. Finds Higgins here near side.
Makar. It's like the infield fly rule now that we're into baseball season. Myers couldn't find it. Makar did. I like how the officials are letting these guys play as well. It's been a physical game, but it's been a well-officiated game.
Flag down here against the Buckeyes.
It's going to be an offsides against the Buckeyes. 7 men in the defensive zone. So a slow whistle. This is a free possession for the Terps.
Since the score was tied at 10 over the last 10 minutes, Maryland on a 5-1 run. Long carries behind the goal. Circles around. Comes back inside. Fires. Whalen makes the save. Long goes down in the crease. And we'll have the adjudication of the penalty here as Maryland will go up a man up 4 with 10:34 to go.
30 seconds. Red number 8, offsides, 30 seconds.
So Connor Camille whistled for the offsides. And just what Ohio State doesn't need right now. Down 4, you need possessions. Maryland's going to have it with a man up here. We're going to get a little conversation from the officials now.
Yeah, that could have been an interference on the inside from Ohio State. I mean, we're also seeing some of the Maryland players, when they cut, are holding the defender's stick. So you got a lot of gamesmanship going on right now.
Terps 0 for 2 on the extra man so far today. Buckeyes man down, good one, only giving up 26% on the year. Buckeyes sharp with the extra man, but Maryland just hasn't made any mistakes to give Ohio State man-up opportunities in this game. Buckeyes are man-up. They hit it 61%. But Maryland has behaved itself today.
One of the best in the country is Ohio State. That's Maltz. Guy scored 50 goals last year, Pete. And now he comes off the bench and only gets to play EMO for this Maryland team.
That's a deep and talented bunch.
Well, they say an embarrassment of riches.
But nothing embarrassing about number 1 right now. They've answered the bell. They were down 4 at one point. Now lead by 4. Murphy. Wisnauskas. Whalen hurting after that one. He got a piece of it, but again, it's another 60 seconds of defense, though, for Ohio State as Wisnauskas has the pill far side.
Terps have just controlled everything here in the fourth quarter. Starts with Weirman at the face-off dot, but they are just wearing down this Ohio State defense.
Maryland scored 2 in the first 58 seconds. If you're just joining us, Ohio State with a great answer went up 7-3. Tied at 7 at the break. But since the 10-10 tie, it's been all Maryland since then. Looking for more. Shot clock at 25. Extra pass. Wisnauskas goes below the goal line. Kahn backpedals. Near side for Long. Shot clock at 15. Behind him, Donville. Rolls in away from his man. Cross box. Oh, what a beautiful pass. And a finish by Kahn. 8:51 to go in the fourth. Number 1 has answered this challenge from Ohio State today. They now lead by 5. It's 16-11.
What are you going to do? That was pretty. Pretty ball movement. Great sharing of the rock. And we've seen this from Donville a couple minutes ago. He gets down that alley. Little spin move right here. Little roll dodge action. And finds Kong on that far pipe. You have to go if you're Ohio State. You can't give him that layup opportunity, and you leave the backside exposed, and Donville finds Kahn.
7-1 run now over the last 11:33. Beautiful job by Kahn to dance in front of that crease without stepping in it. And Weirman continues to dominate here at crunch time for the Terrapins.
Yeah, you go back, I mean, you know, look, the one, Ohio State has had one shot, I think, in this quarter, and that one didn't even make it to the cage. It hit a defender, and it led to transition cold the other way. The Terps have just dominated this 7.5-minute stretch in this game.
It's a 60-minute game, big fella. Maryland plays that. They knew that. There was no panic early in that first quarter when they were down. Chorus brings it back out for Wisnauskas. Gallagher stays with him, gives it up from Oliver, now 35 on the shot clock. Seems like Ohio State's played defense for the last half hour.
Yeah, it's been exhausting.
Wisnauskas fires, bouncing shot near side, rebound picked up by Kahn, but in no angle to shoot. Shot clock now at 20. Inside shot and a great finish. Jack Brennan switches from right hand to left. Nobody stops the ball, and Jack Brennan puts it home. His first of the day for the Terps at 7:47. And who on earth would have thought, after what we had through 3 quarters, we'd have a 6-goal lead now for the Terrapins. You can see the anguish on Nick Myers' face there. As the wheels have come off for the Buckeyes, this Maryland has just been brilliant here in this 4th quarter.
Everything is going Maryland's way. And this is after the Terps took a shot that was wide of the cage, but it hit off the face mask of an Ohio State player and bounced right back into the stick of Keegan Kahn. So you go back to that shot that hit Ari Allen at the end of the 3rd quarter and went out of ever since then. All the bounces, all the breaks have been going the Maryland Terrapins' way. Great finish by Jack Brennan.
Brennan will have something to talk about in the tailgate following the game. Junior out of Rochester, New York. Gets his 8th goal of the season, and Ohio State unable to complete the pass there. And the Terps get it back as they will continue. We talk about in football, time of possession. This 4th quarter seems like Maryland's had it for seemingly the entire quarter.
Well, credit Weirman for another, that's like the 2nd or 3rd face-off he's lost in this game, but then he makes a play to get it back. He's the guy that knocked the pass down from Justin Inacio to create the ground ball, and Maryland picks it back up.
9 different players for 17 goals today for Maryland.
Listen, if you're Ohio State, I know that the last 12 minutes of this game really haven't gone your way, but you got to feel good about the effort that you've given here today in College Park against the #1 team in the land. And the Buckeyes, they have a firm grip on that #3 spot in the Big Ten.
Donville's shot doesn't get through. Knocked down by Rainey. Ball free. Flipped up in the air by Bobby Van Buren, but the Terps able to keep it. Cross-box pass. Murphy unable to shoot. Good defense by Gallagher there for Ohio State to prevent that opportunity, but shot clock now counting down to 10.
This Buckeye defense is gassed. They're absolutely gassed.
Fires. Whalen makes the save. Scooped back to him by Jacob Snyder. Here comes Ohio State trying to get it across midfield just to have an offensive possession. 19 saves now for Whalen. Every one he gets is a new career high for him.
He's been terrific today. He really has.
And I know the lay viewer looks at the score and says, well, Maryland has 17 goals. Well, 42 shots, and very few have missed the cage today. I mean, the shooting accuracy of Maryland in this game has been spectacular.
As it has been all year. And Whalen, credit him. He stood tall between the pipes for Ohio State.
Inside, shot goes wide.
But when you look at the lay of the land, and Ohio State still has to play Michigan next week. That'll be the Sunday night BTN game, Big Ten Network game. If they can hold that #3 spot, their path to the Big Ten championship, then obviously they'll have to play a quarterfinal game. And if everything holds true, it'll be Michigan 2 weeks in a row.
Rebound collected in front, and it gets over the line.
But this is an Ohio State team that if they can stay #3, their path would have to go through Rutgers.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the higher seeds, anything is possible when you get to the quarterfinals, but they stay out of the path of Maryland until a possible matchup in the championship game.
Jackson Reed with the tally for Ohio State to put a little Band-Aid on the bleeding here momentarily to cut the lead to 5.
They continue to fight. Shot off of the elbow, the top corner of the cage, but Jackson Reed, Johnny on the spot, picks it up. Little twister action. He sees that McNaney is far out of the cage, so he knows he just has to get it goalward with a little bit of English on it. That's exactly what he does. And Ohio State stops the bleeding momentarily with their 12th tally of the afternoon.
First goal for Ohio State in 12 minutes and 23 seconds. Terps by 5. Weirman gets him the ball. with 5:10 to go. Some of the 6,400 in attendance today going to start to seek some cover on the far side as precipitation starting to finally arrive here.
Curse you, Pete Medhurst.
Tip of the cap to my guy, Howard Bernstein.
Curse
He's very
you,
accurate.
Pete Medhurst.
Accurate forecaster, my guy.
Precipitation Pete. That's your new name.
There we go. I like that. Precipitous predictions of precipitation by Pete. Here's Murphy, fires a bouncing shot. It goes wide with 4.5 remaining.
So we'll have Rutgers versus Penn State next Saturday on Big Ten Network, and then Ohio State, Michigan. Penn State right now trying to battle for that number 4 spot. That game against Hopkins, that's happening shortly. In a couple of minutes, actually, it'll commence.
Baltimore, yeah. I mean, but look at last year's tournament. You know, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen when you get to the postseason. Hopkins able to make that run.
Yeah, beat Rutgers.
Yep.
Beat Penn State and Rutgers. And they got to the finals against Maryland, where they gave the Terps everything they could handle.
Transition opportunity here. Maryland gets back, long range shot. McNaney sees that all the way from Connor Camille. Camille getting up very slowly after that. I don't know if he's cramping or if he's got something else.
Yeah, once the play stops, which it does, the
official's going to stop play for him there.
I think of a team like Michigan. You know, the Wolverines, they've lost 6 in a row now. 0-4 in the conference. Can they build on the confidence that they probably gained by coming back on Rutgers today? And 2 weeks in a row, they've just built deficits or gotten into holes that they just couldn't climb out of.
Take a look at what happened to Camille here as he went to plant.
It looks like his foot just slipped. Oh, no.
Maybe followed through.
Yeah,
maybe hyperextended that front leg a little bit.
Yeah. But, you know, can Michigan put it together and make a run?
Here's Long, right to the crease, shoots and scores. Nobody stopped the ball for the Buckeyes, and Kyle Long right to the top of the crease. Beats Whalen low to low, 3:37 to go. And barring something unforeseen, number 1 going to survive here this afternoon in College Park with a fantastic fourth quarter finish here today.
Well, as we project who can maybe make a run in the Big Ten tournament, this is a guy who can make a run to the cage. Kyle Long, terrific speed. Ohio State pressing out. Time is of the essence. And Bobby Van Buren just gets run by. No shame in that. Kyle Long just turns on the jets and sticks it.
You know, Long makes that run. The secondary defender, Tyler Gallagher, caught in conflict. Do I leave Wisnauskas, who's, 6 yards in front of the crease, to go to the ball? 44 shots for the Terps. 37 of them on frame here in this game.
Efficient.
When you are that efficient with your shooting, you're going to put yourself in great positions to win games.
You got to give a lot of credit to Bobby Benson, replacing J.L. Reppert, now the head coach at Holy Cross. J.L. did such a tremendous job with this Maryland team. But then Bobby Benson coming in, really didn't have an opportunity to work with them in the preseason last year, as J.L. Reppert was hired in January of 2021 by Holy Cross. But you can see having the normal fall. Even before that, being able to be with the guys during the summer somewhat for workouts. And then a full preseason. It's paid huge dividends under the tutelage of Bobby Benson.
Let's go back to the point you made about Maltz earlier. It kind of, as what, John Tillman explained to us this week, I asked him the question, why the offensive explosion? And he said, because they're so deep, that they can afford to run, that they can afford to play with that intensity and that tempo, because they're so deep. In years past, he didn't think they were deep enough, as Brennan goes high to high and puts the exclamation point on this one for the Terrapins at 2:13. It's Maryland 19 and Ohio State 12. And Brennan, a perfect example of that. He's a guy now that's got 2 goals on the game. But to finish the thought, because they're so much deeper, he doesn't feel like he's wearing his team out now. If he'd allowed him to run in years past, he thought he couldn't do that.
The key to their depth, it kind of starts with their short stick D middies. They go 4 deep. Puglisi, Higgins, Smith, and Bubba Fairman. Then you're watching Brennan score goals. Jack Corus has scored goals here today. Owen Murphy and Mulliver have both gotten on the score sheet, and they're the third midfielder or fourth attackman, if you will. I mean, this is a Maryland team that goes 2 midfields deep, 6 guys there, and their starting attack is incredible. And then you got Maltz on the bench if you need him. So when you talk about depth, and that's what Maryland is showing off here in this game. They played a ton of offense. Ohio State has barely had the ball, and Maryland is still got pep in their step. They're still fresh as a daisy. They're still riding hard. They're still attacking hard. They're still playing that full 60-minute game. That
Myers.
depth allows them to do that.
Yeah, Myers circles up to the top here with 1:40 to go. Got to give Brett Makar a lot of credit. He's played Myers very strongly here in this game. A lot of 1v1 assignment. Myers takes the haphazard shot here from 15 yards away.
What I've been most impressed with the Ohio State offense is they've got Maryland ball watching in this game. Maryland is a team that typically does not suffer from that. And Ohio State, they've done a great job of off-ball goals in this contest.
Myers carries behind against Makar here. Shot clock at 24. He looked to find Scott White inside. And that pass is going to get over the sideline. And the Terps will have it here with 1:06 to go. And Bubba Fairman brings it across here for the Terps. And at one point, remember, we were tied at 10 here. Since then, 9-2 Maryland. In the latter moments of the third, and they have just dominated this fourth quarter here this afternoon. Kevin Tucker getting a touch on the field. Dawson Wynn.
Well, now you get ready. Now you get ready for rivalry week. It's for Maryland. It's Johns Hopkins next week. For Ohio State, it's Michigan.